morning. It's the day after Easter. No school today. I wake up from my morning bus route at the crack of dawn, and I woke up today and I thought to myself, let's go fishing. So I loaded up a couple things from my most recent mystery tackle box. I have hit Casey's, where I got the fuel that keeps me going every morning, the Monster Zero, and I'm out to hit a pond or two, and a couple whitetails running across the road right here in Chatham. Look at that. Interesting. They're coming out of Piper Glen, heading towards my house, actually. Huh. Wow. So I'm gonna hit a pond, and if the pond does me good, great. If it doesn't, I'm gonna head over and hit a few spots where you can fish the shore of Lake Springfield. So that's my plan for now. Stay tuned, and remember, we can always be hitting that like and subscribe button down below, so keep that in mind. And thank you to the I think the 184 followers I have as of this morning. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Well, we have arrived at the location number 1, the ponds at Southwind Park. Just got to get a few things going here out of the old family truckster. Couple poles, and yeah, hit a button on the truckster and we're ready to go. So I thought it was not going to be windy, and I know one thing with this pond is I like to wacky rig Senkos and biospawn and stuff like that, so we'll see how it goes. It's a little breezier out here than I thought it would be, but should be able to test things out and see how it goes. So alright, we'll check in again as soon as the line hits the water. Alright, well, this is my first cast ever with the biospawn exo stick that came in my last mystery tackle box. So I'm about to turn loose on this. A little more windy than I was hoping for, but we'll see. I think I just got a text from my wife saying that my kids are awake, so it's gonna be a short trip. As I said, it's a little more windy than I was hoping for out here this morning. Well, the action seems nice on this. Oh! Had to be a bluegill. Well, one cast, one pickup, but I'm sure it was a bluegill and not a bass. Try off to the other direction. Well, looks like 0 for 2 on the first 2 casts. A few weeks back I did a review of an Akuma Stratus V, I think a SV35, which was my first Akuma reel. I really liked it. And well, this is an Akuma ALS 30, which is a little bit smaller of a reel, but it is oh so smooth, and frankly I just love it. It's kind of small for bass, but jigging for walleye, crappie fishing, you know, pond fishing, it's awesome. Everything from Akuma is as good as the 2 reels I have. I'd get more, and frankly I'm sold on both of them. Talked one of my buddies into getting one when we were up in Minnesota. Caught one at a gas station, and he loved it too. So can't go wrong with these things. Hey, switching gears just a little bit. This is a new crankbait I have from I think it's Max Lures, and it's a Crank X. It's kind of a shad color with a yellow bottom. First cast with this thing, and cast like a bullet. Got a nice wobble to it. Doesn't run too deep. It's definitely a shallow running crank. This reel I'm using now is not an Akuma. It's a Shields Pro Angler. It came in a combo that I got fairly cheap. Might have even been a gift, I'm thinking. Pro Angler rod. The good thing about that is anything that comes from Shields, at least in the Pro Angler line, it's guaranteed for life. And this one had a couple things break on it. Took it back, no questions asked. They handed me a new one. So that's the good part about it. The rod's good enough. It's not a great rod. It's an okay to good rod. The reel works fine. Just makes some noise and has a few wobbles that I don't really care for. So if you have your option between an Akuma reel, spinning reel, and something in the Shields Pro Angler line, I'd go with the Akuma every time. That's disregarding the incredible lifetime warranty on them, which maybe I'll be needing to take this one back and testing out how good the warranty is on the reels, because I've used this one quite a bit and it's making a lot of racket that I don't care for. But otherwise it's a good enough reel. Not great. Alright, moved down around the pond a little bit and got a new bait on here. I have a Guggen drag and drop, and I didn't have anything special on this. It's just a shallow corner of a pond. I don't have any type of special weight on this. I know it's more of a drop shot kind of a thing, bottom bouncing type of thing, but I just got it rigged up on a regular worm hook, just seeing what it does in this shallow water. Looks pretty good in the water. It's my first ever cast with a Guggen bait. I kind of like that. I know I'm gonna like using this up north. bluegill's pounding it. That's not really what I'm after. Gotta say, I haven't had a ton of action out here this morning. I probably would pack up and go to a different pond. Nope, just this one. Go to a different pond, except for, you know, both my kids are awake now, and it's probably gonna be time to head that direction. Maybe feed the hammer, play with Noli. Just lost one again. It's either small bass or it's a bluegill just picking the stick up and running with it. Kind of frustrating right now. Have I mentioned the wind? It's a little bit windier than I like. Probably with no wind be on the other side and that grass to run this way, but bluegill again. I really hate fishing the plastics into the wind where I lose feel. It's not really what I'm going for. I want to twitch it across the bottom and feel everything, and sometimes that wind picks up the excess line and leaves me with nothing. So still good to be out in the water though. Alright, I've had about 10 different baits on. The sun's getting a little higher, wind's picking up a little more. About to wrap this thing up. To be honest, I've done better on a Senko than anything else. But as far as mystery tackle box stuff goes, I like the Access One Bio Stick, and I made several casts with the Catchco Death Stalker, and frankly that thing is dynamite. This pond might be a little shallow for the applications for that lure, but casts great, runs great, looks great, fish are attacking it. Definitely love the Death Stalker from Catchco. Still all my plastics, I feel like 90% of the pickups are bluegills, which you'll have that in a pond like this. So unless some incredible action picks up here in the next few casts, signing off for the day. Well, slight change in plans. I wrapped up fishing that pond lots of bluegill pickups, a couple small bass, but nothing worth anything. So I was gonna wrap up and head home, but the wife said I don't really need to be home right now. I think that really means that she'd rather I went fishing for a little bit longer than complained about not fishing later, which you gotta pick your battles, you know? You gotta do what you gotta do. So, with me working at Rochester and living in Chatham, the main thing that separates those two towns is, you know, 5,000 acres of Lake Springfield. So there's never a time where you're not driving by some access to that lake, and even though it's kind of a muddy pit, it does hold some big fish. And my biggest largemouth came out of an area on there, and I'm not fishing from a boat today, so I'm gonna go to a couple spots that are real close to where that big bass came from and see if I can't shake a couple fish out of the mud pit of Lake Springfield. So that's my plan for now. Alright, I don't know that this is any good. I'm at an area I've never been at before. I think the only time I've ever been to this park on Lake Springfield is when I've picked up some drunken Uber drivers. Well, I was an Uber driver and I was picking up some drunks that have been out on the lake all day. But there's a railroad tracks that crosses Lake Springfield, and I can see a point where I caught a 6-pound largemouth right there, but I was fishing from a boat and it was Labor Day. So here I am in April, and we got a rock shore, and like I said, this is Lake Springfield, so it is going to be a rocky, muddy pit, but there are fish in here, so we'll see. Probably have to change up my schemes a little bit, and we'll see how we can see if we can't put a fish on camera on the shore for the first time ever for me on this channel. We'll see. So if you see me on here again here recently or in the near future, it's because I'm actually catching fish. All right.